So YouTube has been hard at work developing new features for YouTube live streamers. This is for anybody that live streams to YouTube. And today I'm going to be telling you what those features are, and I'm going to be showing you where you can find these features. And look, if you are a StreamYard user and you typically schedule everything in StreamYard, but you don't visit YouTube afterwards, after you watch this video, you're going to want to start doing that as part of your workflow, just so you can grab some additional features that YouTube just doesn't give access to externally and things like that. So the very first one that I want to bring to your attention, and this one just came out recently, is the option to pop out the control room in your dashboard. Now, the cool thing about this is, let's say that you are working or you're live streaming with multiple screens. One of the things that you can do is through that pop out option, and you see it here on the screen, the icon to do that is down on the bottom left-hand side of the screen right there, circled in red. But the idea for this is, if you have multiple screens set up, kind of like I do right now, and you have other things that are on that screen, let's say it's your stream notes, let's say it's your run of show, let's say it's a preview of your stream like I have on mine right now, then in that particular case, if you don't want to take up the entire page or the entire screen with your live control room, what you can do is you can pop out just a little quick version of your live control room. Now, that makes it easy to be able to see your concurrent viewers and those sorts of things in a really small and easy to digest way. Next is you have the option here to pop out your YouTube chat. So if you were to look at my screen right now, one thing that I typically do, especially when I'm using StreamYard, which is pretty much every stream, one of the things that I do is I will pop out the YouTube live chat. And the reason that I do that is because StreamYard gives us our chat, but there's little details in terms of like the color of the super stickers maybe, or maybe like a member message and things like that, that hasn't been put into StreamYard yet. So because of that, it allows me to pop out this window. And another way to use this in terms of workflow is when you pop out the YouTube chat from your live control room or directly from the stream itself. One of the things that I do is, because StreamYard allows us to pin the comments to the stream, to the screen, I should say, what I'll do is I'll kind of hold StreamYard in the places where I need to pin the comments to the screen, and then I'll just let YouTube chat run wild. So I'll have both of them right next to each other. As a matter of fact, I can show you right now exactly how I have this set up right here. So you can see exactly how I have it set up. I'll just show you here really quick. Let me just go to share screen, window. You know what? You actually might, it's all right. I'd still have to let you in, so it's not a big deal. So let me go to the window here. Which window would this be? So let's go entire screen, and bam. So this right here is my screen. So you can see here I have the StreamYard chat over here. I have my notes over here, and then I have the YouTube chat like right here in the middle there, the one in the dark. And the reason that I do that is it allows me to be able to kind of manage the speed that I'm scrolling through the StreamYard chat, because that's where I'm pinning things to the screen if I need to, but then I can let the YouTube chat go a little bit crazy, and I don't have to really worry about, I don't have to worry about that side of things, which is really cool. So if you were just joining the stream, what we're talking about is we're talking about YouTube features that YouTube has put out for live streamers to help us in all kinds of different ways with what it is that we're doing. And right now I'm moving into the third one, but we have a lot of them actually on this list. So another thing, as part of popping out the chat in this particular area, and you see this in your live control room, you'll see this at the very top of your chat, but you'll also see this if you just go to your live stream while it's live on YouTube and you click on the three-dot menu that's up in the very top right-hand corner there, then you're going to see these particular options. Now, starting at the top, community moderation, that will take you directly into the community area of your live stream, of your YouTube settings, which is where you're going to be able to access additional features that I'm going to be sharing with you here shortly. Underneath that, you have a participant list where it just shows the people that are participating. So there, it's just a direct list. So you don't see all the comments and all that. You just see the people that are hanging out in the stream, which is pretty cool. The next thing is you can toggle moderation activity. So for this one, Some people, they like to see all those messages coming through like, hey, moderator blocked all these people and they blocked all these people and this person's blocked, this person's been timed out and all of that. Some people really like to see that part. Other people, just so they can kind of, pay attention to what's going on. Other people don't care and they just let the moderators do what the moderators are there to do. So this particular feature here makes it to where you can turn that off and on. So you can let the moderators do what they do and then you can focus your activities on just interacting with the chat and, presenting whatever information or things that you do in your live streams. But on this same list right here, we also have the option to toggle timestamps, which is a fairly new one as well. Now, the cool thing about the timestamp toggle is when you are live streaming, let's say that you have, somebody that's in your stream and they're giving you some really good ideas about something, or you kind of poll your community at a particular part of your stream and you're like, hey, this is a really good idea right here. Then you can just say it during your stream, or you can make a quick note that it was this person and this was the time that they actually said it in the chat. So then after your stream is complete, either you or somebody that, on your team, they can go in and they can look at that and they can, figure out the details around whatever that particular commenter was saying. So that's also a really cool feature. Next, and this one's really helpful. The next ones that we have here is the markers and highlights. So in the highlight option, what that is that allows you to highlight certain clips out of your YouTube channel that you can later turn in, or out of your live stream that you can later turn into videos that you can publish on your YouTube channels. This is great for repurposing content and things like that. It just allows you to be able to go in and say, I want this particular section of the stream, and then you'll be able to download that directly in YouTube or just bounce it, so to speak, over into a new piece of video content, which is pretty cool. But in addition to that, they also have markers. So along the same lines that we were talking about before in terms of, let's say somebody does something in the chat, or let's say you do something in your stream and you're like, hey, that's pretty cool. Or let's say that you have somebody coming in and they are taking very particular parts out of your live stream for repurposing, that kind of stuff. Then in that particular case, the markers and highlights section, that will allow you to be able to just tap on those. Or if you have somebody managing your stream on the back end, either way, then somebody will be able to tap on those and you will be able to mark those very specific points in your stream so that you can, jump to them quickly, or so that if somebody comes in after you and they weren't there for the stream, but they're on your team and they need to use that content for something, they can quickly jump to that important, those important areas, which will save you labor hours, which is a win. The next feature that we have here on our list today, and this particular one, everything that we've mentioned so far is something that everybody has, but there are a few features in here that do come with subscriber requirements. They're relatively low subscriber requirements, but this is one of them. So in order for this one to be enabled, you have to be in the YouTube Partner Program, which requires 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 hours of watch time. But that is shopping with your live streams. So how this works is YouTube now has an integration with Shopify. So if you are somebody that sells anything from your YouTube channel, be it, digital downloads or, anything like that, even if it's merch, you can connect it to your YouTube channel and then you can make those available while you are live streaming, which is another really cool feature. This will help you be able to make more money, but more importantly, when you're live streaming, there's going to be a little shelf underneath your video. And on that little shelf, it's going to highlight very specific things that you are talking about. So let's say you're doing a live stream and that particular live stream is talking about, a certain set of information that you have some type of downloadable for that thing that you're talking about. Then in that case, you could just pin that there at the bottom of your screen, and then that would give you the option to just let people know that are participating, at least viewers that are in the countries that qualify for that. It lets them know that they can get that, thing that you're talking about directly underneath the video, which is also, a really big win. Next, you have the live commentary options. What this is if you have trusted people that, are interacting with your channel, then this basically just gives them permission to, be able to, do essentially what it is that they want during your live stream to, to say whatever it is that they want and those sorts of things. Next, you have the managing moderators. Now, this is a new one. This one came out here within the last month. Now, the really cool thing about this particular feature, for those of you that live stream, especially if you're live live streaming for business purposes is, there's a lot of things that can happen during our live streams that we need to either moderate, or maybe we need to block somebody. And there's also things that can happen, that we didn't intend to happen, on that side as well. So one of the things that the managing moderators permission allows is this allows for you to be able to give a moderator or a group of moderators permissions to go in and add people to your blocked words list. Now, inside of YouTube, your blocked words list, that is, one, they can override anything. They can, moderate in any way. And they also have, that access to that blocked words list on the back end of your channel. So they can go in and unblock people if they need to, and they can go in and they can add specific words and phrases if you happen to be live streaming and let's say some spammers coming in there, dropping a bunch of, things, they can go in there and add that while you're streaming. And then the next time that spammer comes in and drops that message, it's going to automatically be held for review by YouTube, which is really cool. So Christopher Cowsey says all these features cannot be used during StreamYard sessions as the panel is different, but different. So this is a completely different thing. So everything I'm showing you here is in the back end of YouTube. So as a StreamYard user, you have access to all of these features. I mean, just every live streamer, as long as you hit the qualifications for some of them, but most of these that I'm talking about are new features that anybody that live streams to YouTube has. The difference is if you schedule everything in StreamYard, which is how you should set up your live stream, the next step is you should also have another window or another tab open that allows you to be able to access some of these features, and just because they're not available through YouTube's API, so StreamYard can't offer them yet. But in addition to that, some of these features are going to allow you additional tools that can help you with your workflow. So having StreamYard in one tab and then having the YouTube live session in a second tab is a way that you can quickly access these features as you need to. And with that pop-out panel, that also has some additional things as well. In terms of the pop-out dashboard that you have now inside of YouTube, to where you can just trigger things if you need to without it, having to take up too much space. But with this managing moderator option, you definitely want to make sure that you do set this up if you do have, a moderator on your YouTube channel. This one's pulled from the StreamYard channel, so I just went ahead and put myself in there because they didn't have anybody in there yet. So I'm like, hey, I'll be the managing moderator here for this. Next on the list, and this one isn't a brand new feature, but a lot of people still don't know that you can do it inside of YouTube. So this is the live redirect feature, and this is another one that you definitely need to be inside of YouTube for. So this happens when you're scheduling your stream. So how this works is, let's say that you have a live stream that you're doing, and then let's say you have a guest on, and that guest happens to have a YouTube channel as well. And let's say you're going to do a second part of that interview on their channel as a way to do a collaboration where you can send some people their way, or if you're on the receiving end, then they can send some people your way. With that live redirect feature, all you have to do is this particular one actually is in your main channel settings under the community tab. So you actually need to open up permissions for them to be able to send directly to you. That's what that one's for. And then once you do that, then the thing I'm going to show you here in a minute is going to allow you to just transfer the stream to them. And this is so cool. We do this all the time now. Like I do my streams on my main channel on Saturdays, and my brother and Dee, they have a stream that they do, my brother Dee and Daniel, they have a stream that they do here on the StreamYard channel. I think it's like the second Saturday of the month where they look at YouTube channels and they do reviews. So what we do is I have my live stream, and then since my live stream ends shortly after their live stream starts, then I always set up that redirect. And then what happens is, as soon as I hit in stream here in StreamYard, then what YouTube does automatically, since I set that up on the front end using that feature, is it will automatically default my audience directly over into those channel reviews. And then, they can pick up the stream from there and keep everybody going with that particular live stream. Really cool feature. We use this one all the time, but you have to make sure that you do have this set up so that anybody can redirect to you, or you want to make sure that you have this set up so that you can choose the people that are redirecting to your live stream. Next, we have the live chat, replay on and off. Now, this one isn't a new feature, but the reason I'm talking about this one is I see from time to time in different Facebook groups, especially the StreamYard community Facebook group, where people will say, hey, I'm live streaming to YouTube, but I keep losing my live chat. This is why. So as a default, YouTube will turn this off. And when YouTube has that turned off, if you don't turn it back on, then by default, what's going to happen is when your live stream is complete, it's going to take that live chat away. So you want to make sure that you have that selected so that once your stream is finished, if you want to display your, live chat, then once your stream is finished, that it doesn't automatically go away, that your stream will continue to be there, so people can see comments and things like that, if that's something that's important for the content that you are, that you're putting out. Next, this one is also a new feature. It's called live redirects, and somebody just did it here just a second ago. And the live redirects are really cool. So if you're on a mobile device, this is only available on mobile device. So you got to make sure that you have this enabled so mobile users can do it. But if anybody here is on a mobile device, you're going to see that little icon down in the bottom right-hand side of your screen, especially if you're on an iPhone, you'll see this. So if you could just tap that a couple of times, and then if anybody's watching the chat right now, here, once this message gets out to you, then you are going to see that actually happening on the screen right now, which is really cool. Okay, so we just had a couple of hearts there. So basically, it just gives that little bit of feedback that people can give you during your stream, and it just kind of makes everything a little bit more fun and interactive. Next is the live redirects and the trailers. So the first thing that I spoke about was the permissions on the live redirect, making sure that you have all of that set up so that people can redirect to you, and that was in your channel settings. This part right here is in your actual stream detail settings on your live stream details page. But for this allows you to set up that redirect to where you can send somebody, instead of being on the receiving end, you can send somebody to another stream. But another really cool one here is if you look down in the very bottom there, it has trailer. So a lot of people don't know that you can already add trailers to your YouTube live streams, just like if you were somebody that saw the trailer that I have for this one before you came in here, you add that inside of your stream details page as well. So with the combination of that live redirect and the trailer, just those two things open you up a lot. And I recommend that you do use a trailer for your live streams. And the reason for that is because when you are just using the image, somebody that's not familiar with your content, that's never interacted with your content before, when they see that scheduled and they click in, they're going to have a little option to remind them or notify them when that stream starts or as it's getting ready to start. But it's just a static image. So the only information they have to go off of is the topic itself. But if you make a trailer and you just give some insights about, hey, these are the types of things that we talk about in my streams, or these are the types of things that I do or show or share or whatever, then that just opens it up to where people have more context about what it is that they're going to get from you in that stream. So I've personally found that to be an extremely effective way to have a lot more people coming into the stream when it first starts compared to just having the image by itself. Next up, we did that one already. In your live stream chat, one thing that I didn't mention here in my notes, but you can also use this here, is you can make sure that you are doing Q&As and polls in your chat as well. And one of the really cool things is, in addition to that, if you look at the top of the chat right now, you also have the option here to where you can pin a chat, just like or pin a message like I just streamed, or like I just did Doug's right here at the very top of our live stream here. And if I want to remove that, let's say that if I was using live streaming for like business or to spread awareness about something or something like that, then I could put check out the offer here, and then I'm just going to put parentheses, just link, so you can just kind of see the example here. And I'm just going to pin this here to the chat that you are looking at right now. And then I just updated that. So it'd be like, check out the offer here. And then you can put a link, right there. Make sure when you're doing that sort of thing, make sure that you do let people know that it's pinned there at the top of the chat. Because some people, they'll just listen to live streams in the background. So you have to kind of bring people in sometimes to see some of those types of things. But you want to make sure that you do, let people know that it's there. But that's a great place to where right there in the chat, you can bring attention to anything it is you want. So you want to make sure that you're using all of those if you are a live streamer, and it can be really, really helpful. So when it comes to the polls, I'm going to show you one of these really quick as well. Are you a StreamYard user? Question mark. And we're just going to do yes and no. And we're just going to put this in here. So I just dropped the chat here. And as you can see, it goes right up to the very top of the screen here. So I'm going to, and you can see right here, you StreamYard user, yes or no. And then we have people, just kind of putting their information in there. And this is a great way to be able to get some information about your audience as well, to where, they can respond to it. And you can see the results posted right here on the screen. They can respond to it. And when they respond to it, not only are you going to be able to collect that information, but it gives you just insight. So, if you're a content creator and you're live streaming on a regular basis, just asking simple questions like, hey, for my next stream, would you prefer that I talk about this or talk about this, right? And you can use this as a great tool to just help you, be able to better understand what it is that your viewers want from you, or you can have fun with it. Hey, do you like pineapple on your pizza? Yes or no? And then you can have, just kind of the running poll. So then, everybody can see the results of that, once they get to the, once they get to the end of the stream. Let's see here. But the next thing, the next thing is podcasting. So this feature, and I mentioned this on the live stream that I did here last month as well, but when it comes to the podcasting options inside of YouTube, they now have it to where you can create a playlist and you can set that playlist as a podcast. Now, if you're a live streamer and you're doing longer podcast or longer live streams on your channel, then what you can do is you can actually create one playlist for, like a long live stream. If you have different live streams, you can do this for each one of them. But basically what you can do is you create the, hey Zach, what's going on, man? One of the things you can do is you can create the pod or the playlist, and then you can set that playlist as a podcast. Now, when you do this, this is going to give you the option to add a square profile picture to that particular podcast, so you can actually build it around, an episode, turn it into a show or whatever you'd like to do. And then you can fill out some description information for that podcast. And then anytime you add something to that podcast playlist, it's going to show up as a podcast on YouTube. So if you are in the US, YouTube now has a whole section. If you go to youtube.com/podcast, where they are featuring podcasts. So because of that, this is another way that you can bring attention to your live streams. Now, keep in mind, if people are finding you a lot through the podcast area, you might want to think about how you're formatting your show and thinking about, should I format this as a podcast so that when people find me there, it actually has that podcast vibe to it? Or should I just continue with my regular live stream that I typically do, but just make it available for people to listen to? But those are, some choices that you'll have to make based on, the type of content that you, personally do. And I'm just going to run through my list here, make sure that I got through all of those features. Oh yeah, one more thing that I did not mention about the managing moderators is when you do add people to this section in your settings, not only does it allow you to, or allow them to add to blocked words and unblock people and those sorts of things, but they can also modify chat modes in your live stream. So, if they want to, change the type of, chats that are coming in there from like, regular viewer to subscribers or, something like that, to where only subscribers can chat, they can do those sorts of things. And they have full access to be able to help you run and manage your live stream in whatever way it is that you need that help. So 2 peds and a pod. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go into the Q&A portion of this, because I wanted to get you through those features. And keep in mind, if you only make it to here on the replay, I do have a link down in the description to a bunch of live streams that help you with all kinds of things related to live streaming on YouTube. So make sure that you check that out. But when it comes to this particular stream, I'm going to go ahead and move this into a Q&A now, question and answer, so that we can get your questions answered about any questions that you might have about live streaming to YouTube. So the very first one is from 2 Peas on a Pod saying, how do I do this in StreamYard, or only can be done on the YouTube side? So these things that I'm talking about today can only be done on the YouTube side. So when it comes to StreamYard, keep in mind that StreamYard can only do the things that are available through YouTube's API, basically the things that YouTube gives them permission to do through the backend. So a lot of the features that I talked about today, they just don't have access to. So because of that, these are things that once you set up your live stream and you get everything scheduled on StreamYard, then you want to make sure that you log into your YouTube account and you go into your live control room there. And also just in your settings to set up some of the things that I mentioned, here as well. So you can go through and make sure all of those things are taken care of. And in addition to that, keep in mind when you are scheduling your live stream, you also need to go into YouTube to let people know if it is, family friendly or not. You need to let them know if it's sponsored content or not. There's additional settings that you should be going in and setting in YouTube as well. I have other streams that I've done here on the StreamYard channel that you can find linked down in the description below in that playlist that will actually share the very specific things that you need to go over to YouTube for, because due to API limitations, they just can't give you that stuff directly in StreamYard. Yeah, and here's another thing, Zach, as well, is he says that YouTube Studio recently notified me of some podcast lists it made of my content automatically. I guess need to look at that closer. Yeah, so what you want to do in that case specifically is you want to go into your content tab and then go into podcasts, and that's going to show you all the ones that are currently, all your playlists that are currently labeled as podcast. Any of them that you do not want to be a podcast or just doesn't make sense, right, as a podcast. For those, what you want to do is you want to click on the little 3-dot menu there, and you want to choose set as playlist, and then it will default it back to a normal playlist instead of it being displayed as a podcast. And one more thing with the podcasting feature, thanks, Doug, is that they get to listen on YouTube Music as well. And you can discover that, people can discover your live streams on, on the YouTube/podcast side. But another thing with that YouTube has also let us know about is they are also going to be implementing RSS feeds as part of their podcasting. So in addition to that, you're going to be able to feed that into like all of the different podcast distribution platforms. And then you're going to be able to literally broadcast your podcast directly out of YouTube. So the people interacting with your content, they'll be able to find you all over the place, which is fantastic. Let's see here. Can you do multiple polls during live streams? Yes, you can. So you just have to make sure that you take the one down before you do another one. So if you have a question, just make sure you put a Q in front of the question, and then I will get it answered. And we got, we've got plenty of time here, so I'll be able to get through all of these. So Rebel Canners, thank you for the question. Says if someone blocked, I blocked someone, but I can still see them. Why? Go in and make sure they're blocked. So go into your blocked list, and you can find this by going into your Creator Studio. Down in the bottom left-hand side, you're going to see a little cog icon. If you click on that, then it's going to pop up a window. Go into Community. Once you're in Community, then go down to Blocked Users and just look for them in there. It's possible they have created multiple YouTube accounts under the same, profile picture and name. Sometimes if people are trolls or they're spammers, they'll do that because somebody will block them, so then they'll just go and change their profile picture and channel name of another account, and then they'll just come in and join your live stream again. Then you got to block them again. So just be vigilant on that. One thing that you can do as just kind of a level up to that is if you do find people that are or that are just kind of refreshing accounts to come in and get you anyway. What you can do is if they have very specific things that they typically say, is you can grab words or phrases that you would identify as like a trigger, like they always seem to say these things, and you can add those to your blocked words list on that same page that I just told you. And once you're on that page and you put that in there, then if somebody leaves that type of comment, even in your live stream, then it's going to end up in the held for review section of YouTube, and you don't even have to look at it. So it's like 2 layers of blocking that user. So Mona did what? Says, I'm using my MacBook to stream Yard and I can't find my Mevo wireless camera. Is there a workaround? I'm not sure because I'm not familiar with the Mevo wireless camera. One thing that I would do though, is I would make sure that you have any drivers that are required for that or any, software that's involved for that you've installed that software. If you've installed it, then it should create a camera that you should be able to choose from a drop down. If not, then in that case, I would send a message to StreamYard support and see if they can kind of walk you through that. Because in that particular case, your Mevo Cam should have come with some type of like software management, software that will include like drivers and stuff like that. And once you put that in, then it should allow it to be able to be used as a webcam. So if you have done all of that and you're still not able to see it in StreamYard, then I would definitely send them a support ticket, because with their system, all it does is like like for example, you can use like virtual cameras from, other streaming software. You can use, all kinds of different stuff that you can assign to the, as a webcam. So you shouldn't have a problem with that Mevo. I would just make sure that all your drivers are updated and all of that stuff. Do you need the paid version to enable others to live stream to their channels at the same time? For StreamYard, yes, but YouTube does have an option called Go Live Together. It's only available on mobile devices, and you don't have all the functionality that you have in StreamYard, so it's a little bit complicated. The person has to have a YouTube channel, stuff like that. But they do have that type of version to where it just kind of stacks the people on top of each other. Of course, you can do it horizontally as well, and it'll put you there next to each other. But you can't change the scenes. You can't brand anything, nothing like that. It's just like raw live. That you can do that, directly inside of YouTube as long as you have the subscriber requirements to have that feature. Zen Bloke, how do you get permission to do a live reaction stream of an event like a gaming company showcasing when you're a little channel? So that sort of thing typically comes down to licensing. So what you'd want to do is you'd want to reach out to those event coordinators and see if they offer any type of licensing for you to be able to do that, or if they can give you some type of written permission to be able to broadcast what it is that they have. If it's a live event, in most cases, people will lock those down because they have their own channels that they're distributing those through that they want people to come in and watch. So you'll probably have an uphill battle there. But the first step is just reaching out to them saying, hey, I would love to live stream your event on my YouTube channel. What do I need to do? And then, they should reply with, we don't permit that, or, you'll need to get a license or, pay some type of licensing fee or something like that. So here, how do you get partnerships? How do you get a partnership startup, and how do you connect with StreamYard and on YouTube? So in terms of partnership setups, I'm not 100% sure on exactly what that is, but in terms of connecting YouTube with StreamYard, it's really easy. So once you install, once you access StreamYard through your browser, then what you're going to be able to do is it has an area up at the top called Destinations, and when you click on Destinations, then it just says like, where do you want to stream to? And then you just pick whatever destination it is. If it's YouTube or LinkedIn or Twitter, you set them all up. And then as you're setting up your live stream, you can choose all of the different places you want to stream to, or you can just choose them all and stream everywhere if you want to. So really cool there. But in terms of getting the partnership startup, I'm not sure exactly. If you could just add some clarity to that one, I'll come back around to that one. Can you please explain the marker thing again? Does that help with timestamping longer lives? Yes. So basically, if you have something very specific, like let's say that for the structure of your live stream, you're like, okay, first I do this, then I do this, then I do this, then I do this. Then what you can do is as you're finished doing the one thing, then you can hit the marker and it'll put that marker in there. And then you can have that as like a whole section. And then you can hit the marker for the next section. And then you'll know when you go in to repurpose some of that, like, okay, I know I'm going to take out this section here where I'm showing them how to add text to a thumbnail. And then you have, that particular section and you already have it marked. So you don't have to dig through and try to find out where it's at. You have a quick jump to find that area. Especially helpful if you have other people, helping with that kind of stuff to where maybe they don't have the context that you do if they weren't there while you were streaming. Can you set and forget a music playlist for background music? Absolutely. So there's two things to think about there. One is if you're a StreamYard user, then they have the option to where you can play music in the background. It's under your brand settings. Let me just kind of scroll down here and I'll just show you right here on camera here. So let's go to share screen. So if you look right here, they have the option here to have background music. So you can take out their music and then you can add other music that you have the rights to use here. You can just add, whatever songs you want. And then here you have the option to where you can loop it. So with that, you would have that music and you would just start it playing. And then once it starts playing, then you would just set it to loop and then you're good to go. Oh, I didn't even add that. There we go. That helps, doesn't it? So here, hold on. Let me find where this was at. There we go. So yeah, so what you do here is you go to brand, and then at the very bottom of brand, you'll see right here the background music options. You can adjust the volume. You can add or remove, whatever songs that you want. You can take out all of these if you want and just upload, all custom music if you're using Creator Mix or something like that. And then you can choose to loop it if you want, and then you can adjust like fades and that kind of stuff too. Let's see here. So next up on the list here for the question. So when I set up my live in StreamYard, where do I go on YouTube to set those functions for that same live that I set up on StreamYard? Great question. Okay, so what you want to do, Jill, is you want to go log into your Creator Studio. So in order to get to that, what you do is you log onto YouTube. Up in the top right-hand side, you're going to see your profile picture. Click on that. Then you want to go down to YouTube Studio. Is going to be the option there. Once you are in YouTube Studio, then you are going to want to click on the Content tab. Once you click on the Content tab, then you are going to click on Live, which is going to be like the second or third option over. When you click on that, then you're going to see your scheduled live stream there, and then you can go in and do anything that you need to on the video details page. Now, some of the other things that I showed here, they are in your YouTube settings for the channel itself. So this is not the individual stream, it's a setting in the video. So like, for example, or setting on the channel. Like, for example, the managing moderators that we talked about right here, that's at the channel level. So you have to do that at the channel level. The way you get to this is in that same Creator Studio, or the same YouTube Studio. Once you're in there, then down in the bottom left-hand side of the screen, you're going to see a little gear icon. You want to click on that. That's going to open up a box that looks like the one that you see here. But if you look at the left-hand side of the screen, you're going to see the different navigation options. You want to make sure you click on Community, and then that'll take you into that particular area as well, or you can access it quickly if you want to get to at the very top of your live stream. If you're in the live control room, right up here, you see that community. What's the language for that? Community moderation. If you click on that, then it'll take you directly into that page as well. Okay. All right. So let's see here. So next up, let me go back to the comments here. Oh yeah, we're getting hammered. This is great. Love it, love it, love it. Oh. Okay, so let's see here. So next up, we've got, so here, can you preset polls before you start? You know, that's a good question. I've never tried to do that. I guess you could. Yeah, actually, yeah, you can. So you can preset one poll before you start, but then that poll has to come to an end before you can make another one. So, so yeah, before your stream starts, you can set a poll and then have it pinned at the very top of your screen, and that will give you the option to be able to do that. Looks like you got your work cut out for you here, Doug. Oh, so funny. So the next question that we have here is what's the difference between a moderator and a managing moderator? Great question. So when it comes to a moderator can block people, they can ban people from the channel, they can put users in timeout, but everything it is that they do, it's just restricted, right? Like they can only do those actions. When it comes to the managing moderator, they can add people to your blocked words list, they can change the chat modes, they can do those sorts of things as a way to be able to fully manage your stream without having to run into like any type of issues or any type of restrictions, I should say, on what it is that they can do. Let's see here. They show up on the Mac, but not on StreamYard. Thanks. I'll go through Streamlabs and put it in Zoom. I can try that. Yeah, give that a shot and see if that works. But to their support because their support is a little bit more, on the technical side in terms of, the exact things that, the system can read and what it can't. So I would definitely reach out to them. The next thing we have, let's see here. So I love the new feature on StreamYard to share live streams on guest platforms as well. Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's definitely cool. And I also checked with YouTube on that one because I'll be honest, when that one was first put out, one thing that I, because I teach people about YouTube and that's just like my thing. So because of that, when that feature first came out, I was like, I think this might be, something that, that might be a little bit questionable in terms of, the guidelines of YouTube, but I hit up my partner manager and asked for confirmation that it was okay to, have that stream going out to multiple channels. And I got confirmation there that, that you can absolutely, use that feature without having to worry about it. Let's see here. Becky plays. Yes, you do. Yeah. So both people have to have that all set up before it starts. Oh, the partner program. Okay, so yeah, so the partner program, that's YouTube partner program. So in order to get into that, so that you can set up things in like a Shopify store and just so you can get monetized on YouTube and all of that, what you have to have is you have to have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time. Or if you're just doing it with YouTube Shorts, then you can get 1,000 subscribers and 10 million views on YouTube Shorts in a 90-day period. But either one of those will get you into the partner program. And once you're in, all you have to do is maintain that 4,000 hours of watch time every year. You just maintain it. You just make sure you're getting 4,000 hours or more every year. And then you'll stay in the partner program. You'll have access to all these features. And you will be able to, make money from YouTube. So when it comes, there isn't a playlist, but if you load your music in there, then that music would be, a playlist there, right? So it'd be that playlist there within StreamYard. Other ways that you can do that is, you can also add playlists in like VLC player. This is a lot more complicated. One of the pillars of StreamYard is that it's easy to use, right? So if you're going to use the StreamYard version, then you just do it the easy way. You just load the tracks in there, hit play and let it loop and you're good to go. But if you want multiple playlists and things like that, then you can use like VLC player for that. Or if you are streaming like copyright free music, like from Creator Mix, for example, if you're streaming that from like Spotify or something like that, then in that case, you can create a playlist there and then you can have it coming into your machine. You can use like Voice Meter or something like that to route the audio through your system to get that, music coming out that way as well. And then you can just switch through playlist as you choose. Let's see here. Can you please add private chat only for owner who buy your software where guests can't read the chat? So there is a private chat. That private chat is inside of StreamYard. So if you have a guest on, you can talk back and forth with the guest, and the people that are live, they won't see any of the information that you say there. Okay, scrolling here. How do you share your screen and photos on screen? So sharing the screen, this is going to be complicated here. Give me 1 second because I'm trying to think of how to do, because I'm going to be like sharing it while showing how to share it. So let's see what we got. Let's see how we do it. So in order to share it, what we have to do is, let me go here. Let me turn this comment off. Oops. Let's go. Yeah, I'll just do that. There we go. And then let me go into here, and yeah, we do. And then turn that off, and then now we should be good. And I'll just switch it over here. I'll switch it here. Okay. So in order to share a screen, you just come down to this little area right here, and you hit present. And then when you hit present, you see the option right there. I'm not sure if you can see it on your side. Yeah, you can. So I'm on screen here. So let me see if there's a, kind of move this around. Nope. Let's go to this one. There we go. So down here, if you click on present, then you have the option here to typically the option to share your screen would be right in here, but this is also the same place that you can share a video file if you have a video. If you have slides and you want to add a bunch of photos to a slide, you can share them there. Or if you look right over here in this branding area, another thing that you can do is you can actually just upload images here as an overlay. That's what I did for this conversation today, is I just uploaded the images of the things that I was going to be showing you how to get to. I uploaded those into here, and then all I have to do is click on it, and then it will cover up the screen right there, and people will be able to see, whatever it is that I'm showing there. Okay. So let's see here. So next up, let me see what we got. And again, if you're just joining us, I'm answering questions about YouTube and live streaming. So if you have any questions at all, make sure that you put a Q in front of your question, and I'll get it answered here today. Mayank says that the new feature, which I love, where you can make your own layouts in Windows. Yeah, the new feature where you can customize your layouts is pretty cool. Let's see here. Anti-StreamYard Army, oh dear. Okay, I stream from my, and this is from ZenBloke, says I stream from my PS5. How do I have set as a live? Because all the guides I've seen for this are PC or phone based. So on a PS5, I'm not entirely sure. So, if you were streaming on a PS5 and you wanted to do it directly with the PS5 without routing the signal through a PC to stream it, then that's going to have to be done internally in the box. And if you do it in the box, I know that the PS5s, they do have the option to add like web cameras and stuff like that. So you can set everything up there, but you won't be able to use StreamYard for that. But you would need to schedule your live stream on YouTube, grab your stream keys out of YouTube, and then put them into wherever it is that it's required to put them into on your PS5. Hey, thanks for your hard work here, Doug. Appreciate it, dude. Let's see here. How would you stream on different platforms at once? So what you do is inside of StreamYard, let me open this up really quick and see if I can show you this while I'm actually live, and I'll show you exactly what I mean. Okay, yeah, I can. So here, I'm going to open this up a little bit here. I'm just going to pop this out, and then we will make it bigger. I'll just put it up on the screen here. So in order to stream live, what you can do is if I go up to present, then I go into share screen, I'm just going to share this entire screen. I'm just checking here to make sure there's nothing on screen that I shouldn't be showing. Okay, I'm good. Add to stream. So in order to stream on different platforms at once, once you have them all set up, all you have to do inside of StreamYard is if I click on create, then right here, I just choose live stream. And then I have the option here because I've already added all of these destinations, and I'll make this a little bit bigger so you can see here. But I've already added all, it didn't work like I'd hoped, but I've already added all of these destinations. So what I can do is I can say like, okay, I want to stream to my YouTube channel, my clips channel, over to the Tube Spanner channel, and I also want to stream out to Twitter. And then I fill out all the live stream information here, and then it'll let me stream to all of those. So as soon as I start my stream, then it will multicast, is what that's called. It'll multicast my stream all over my social accounts. Great question. Let's see here. So next up. I was looking for the questions here. There's a lot of like spam stuff to kind of scroll through there. Let's see here. So I streamed for my PS5. We got that one covered. We got that. Okay, so Chatty Kathy. Hey, what's going on, Kathy? Hope you're doing great. Says, I tried telling someone on Facebook that you have to maintain the 4,000 hours of watch time every year, and they said, no, I was wrong, and they blocked me from their Facebook group. That's funny. Yeah, sometimes people are that way. Serious Tuber says, does it need to be verified on YouTube before doing some stream? So no, you just set up your live stream. As long as you have the ability to live stream on YouTube or the functionality, like your channel has to be verified in terms of just the basic verification stuff in terms of like confirming your phone number or whatever. As long as your channel's verified, then you can stream on YouTube without having to, do anything special. But keep in mind, all of the rules of video content still apply to live streams. So you want to make sure that anything you're showing on stream is stuff that you have the rights to use. You don't ever want to show copyright protected music. You don't ever want to show copyright protected footage or anything like that. You want to make sure that everything is, that you have the ability to the permission to use it. Can you set up a GoPro as a live stream camera on StreamYard and YouTube? I don't have it on right now, but I actually have a GoPro that I use as a live stream camera. So you can use GoPros directly as a camera. The way that I use mine is I actually have the GoPro, because like my setup here, let me just turn on my switcher here. Like my setup here, like I've got different cameras that do different stuff. Let's see here. Did I turn it on? Yeah, I think so. I'll just hit the buttons. But anyway, I've got this thing and this thing right here. I've got my GoPro that goes into that, and then all of the other cameras like that one there that just switched to all of the different cameras, they all go into that, and then I can stream, whatever I want there. But when it comes to the GoPros, you absolutely can do that. So what you want to do is you can have it go, you can do it directly through the camera, or you can also set it up to where you HDMI out of this. Actually, Doug has it right down here. You can set it to where you can HDMI out, and then you can use a cam link as well. But you can also just USB for the GoPro as well. As long as it's a newer GoPro. I'm not sure when they started that functionality, but the newer GoPros can definitely do it. Why doesn't StreamYard accept PayPal as a payment option for billing? I'm not sure. I have no idea. left coast graphics. That's above my pay grade. I would definitely reach out to support for that, or billing for that to see. Okay, so partner program is never going to happen for me. Then I'm only at 264 hours. I wish they included watch hours from shorts. I'd actually have a chance. October is my first year. So here's the thing: don't count yourself out. All it takes is one good video. Like, one good video can put you on the map. Like, one good video can get you in the partner program. One small series of videos can get you in the partner program. The struggle when it comes to YouTube is that when you first start out making videos or live streaming, when you first start out, there's just a lot to learn. And since there's a lot to learn, it can make it seem like, oh man, I'm never going to hit these milestones. But the thing is the more you learn, the better your content's going to get, and the more competitive your content's going to get for the platform. And once your content gets that base competitive level, then you're going to start getting a lot more regular views on your videos. You're going to start getting a lot more watch time. You're going to start getting a lot more people just interacting with your content in general. And then everything will, start moving in that way, and it'll seem like it's a lot less effort, even though it's the same or more. But when you are first getting started, though, you're just going through that learning curve. So because of that, all those different milestones, they seem like they're at a really far distance. But in reality, all it's going to come down to is how fast you can develop your skill sets in terms of coming up with video ideas, making good thumbnails, coming up with good titles, making content that people respond to in a competitive way, against all the other videos that the people that are watching your videos are also being recommended against that group of videos. As long as you can get your content to that period, or to that point, which you can, as soon as that happens, then everything's going to start accelerating for you. But you just have to put in the work now, just like with anything else, that we do in life. We just got to put in the work now. Or in your case, since you're the goth farmer, now you're planting seeds, right? You got videos out there, every one of those videos that you put out or live streams that you put out, that's a seed in the ground. Now your skills are the water that you're pouring on that seed to help it grow, right? It's not an exact analogy, because the, farm and seed and all of that isn't, exactly right. But the idea is you're planting those seeds now. So make sure you keep, developing your skill sets and learning how to just get better at grabbing people's attention from home pages and suggested videos. And then, of course, bringing them through your video content. It's hard. If it wasn't hard, then every channel on YouTube would be gigantic. But it is hard. So just, go through that process of developing your skills and you'll be fine. It can be discouraging though, but see it through, and just anytime that you're not hitting those marks, just think to yourself, okay, that means that I just have more stuff that I have to work on. So I'm just going to, I'm going to find new things to work on, and I'm going to learn how to be better at doing the thing. Let's see here. So next up, we have Tyler's Variety says, has StreamYard been able to integrate web sources for alerts like how people do it on OBS? Not at this point in time. They haven't. So basically, you mean where you're able to grab like a URL from some service, and then you're able to put those URLs in, and then, kind of display them wherever you want. As of right now, no, they do not have that functionality. That's pretty advanced functionality. So, with StreamYard, they try to make it easy to use. So if things like that are going to happen on StreamYard, then the interface that would be made for that would just be like super simple and like really easy to do, instead of having to like try to figure out like, all right, where do I grab this URL? Where do I put it? So it'll probably be automatic if they ever add that type of functionality. How do you either upload, and this is from Shady Lane Holmes, says, how do you either upload or put an overlay upload on StreamYard, either from StreamYard or another platform? You just do it in your brand section. So basically in your brand section, and here, I'll go to mine really quick. I'll go to my main channel brand stuff here. Let me get this watermark off. So basically when you upload images, I'll just show you here really quick. I'll show you this as well. You know what? I'll actually just do it in this one. Let me do it in here. Make sure that, let me go into here. Yeah, we got like all these windows in here. I hope you're not getting any feedback or anything. If so, just let me know. But basically right here, if I'm going to add this to the stream, then all you do is you go over here into this brand section, and we're looking over here on this right-hand side of the screen. Just focus on that, because this middle area is kind of crazy right now because all the screen sharing. But basically your overlays, you can take the overlays and you can just add them onto the screen, like what you're seeing there. And then they show up that way, right? So if you make transparent ones, then you can show the other things on the screen. But if they're not transparent, then of course, it'll take up the whole screen. But you can add like video clips and, all kinds of really cool stuff here. Change your backgrounds, add music, all kinds of really helpful stuff there. But in order to upload them, all you have to do is come over to here to the overlay and then just click add overlay, select it from your computer, and then you are good to go. Like when it comes to StreamYard, like, you know, one of the things that they've really nailed is just making things like that extremely easy to do. Let's see here. So let me go back to their branding stuff. There we go. Just in case I need to pull one of those up here for the conversation today. And let's see here, looking for any more questions. Okay, so we've got some here. How to either upload, we got that. Digital Art Drew says, do live views count as watch time hours? Yes, they do. I've done various live events, but my watch time hours seem to keep going down, not up. So here's what happens. So basically, in order for your live stream watch hours to count, you have to make sure that your live streams remain public. The only watch time that counts, hey, Christina, welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing awesome. The only thing that that counts is public watch time. So that means your content that is public, it counts for that. Now, the place where it goes away is, let's say that last year you had a live event that you did that collected a bunch of watch time, but it was 366 days ago instead of 365. Well, since we hit that 356th day, then that watch time fell off. It doesn't count anymore. It only counts for the watch time that you've gained in a 365-day period. So that's why, you know, when you're racing the clock trying to get that watch time, you have to make sure that you're, you know, getting enough so that when the previous watch time has fallen off, you're still in the clear. Let's see here. Just looking for any questions. Okay, so Royalty says, if you share on all platforms, will all of the views goes towards YouTube watch time? No. So the only watch time that's going to count on YouTube is the time that people are spending watching on YouTube. So even if they're watching on Facebook, it doesn't count on YouTube. It only counts if they're watching on YouTube, if they're logged into YouTube when they're watching. Jill's Comfort Zone, thank you. Yeah, I've been working on this setup for like a long time. So, you know, like I've went through a bunch of different setups and, you know, went through all kinds of different gear and stuff. And this is kind of what I've settled on for now. Like I'm pretty happy with this. There's some slight modifications I'm going to make to it. But overall, I'm pretty happy with this. I'm going to change this. The desk that I have back here, you can probably see it better in this view. Yeah, that desk is a sit stand desk. And for like work, it's great. So this is a stationary desk. I'm going to switch this to a sit stand so that I can stand sometimes during my streams as well. Because everything is mounted to the desk with the exception of the lights. Those are mounted to a truss that I have going across the ceiling. But everything's mounted to the desk. So if this is a sit stand, then I'll be able to lift it and drop it. And since all the cameras and everything are mounted, then, you know, all of that will stay the same. Let's see here. Looking for additional questions. Good afternoon, Bright Photoshop Tutorials. So setting up a podcast and scheduling it for later, all you have to do is you have to make the podcast playlist, and then you would make sure that you upload your podcast episode, and then you would add it to that particular playlist, but you schedule it to be published on the day that you want to be published in YouTube. Jill's Comfort Zone says, so say I wanted to do a live marathon of some of my videos. Do I have to upload each video to StreamYard, or can I just set it up to where I can let a playlist on YouTube to keep running? So a way that I would do that if I was trying to do it is I would try to, I would probably do it through VLC Media Player and build the playlist in a playlist there, because on the branding side, like you can play each individual video. I mean, you can loop them. So, I mean, technically, yeah, you could do that because it has the enable loop to just repeat video clips. So you can, but I'm not sure if that loop only applies to like the one video or if it lets you loop through the entire list. I think it just applies to the video. So because of that, if that's the case, then what you might need to do is use like VLC and build a playlist in there and then be able to port that in. Or if you have OBS, then you can build a playlist in OBS using the VLC plugin. And once you have that in there, then you can use the OBS virtual camera and you can port that out, and then you port that into StreamYard. And then that way, you know, the stream's up. You can pin comments if they come in if you want for fun. And, you know, since they host everything in the cloud, it ensures that your stream stays up in case of any glitches or anything like that. And then that would do the job. That would do the job for you. Great question. Let's see here. Looking for more questions. What if your goal retention rate for live streams being watched after the fact? As much as possible. Like, you know, like when it comes to retention, if I can get like 23 minutes out of somebody watching on the replay, that's a win. That's a good win for me. Typically on my live streams, because we usually add the timestamps to them. I don't think we added them on the last one, but I think those will be in there soon. But with the timestamps, people will also just kind of skip around a lot on my replays. So because of that, I'm not really concerned in terms of getting like tons of retention there. But in terms of, you know, like what I like to hit, I like to hit, you know, that 21 to 23 minute mark on the replay is what I can typically get there. Let's see here. Together We Travel says, can you explain the difference from a copyright claim and a copyright strike, and will they both keep you from qualifying for the partner program? So copyright claims, if you get like a staggering amount of them, then it might be considered, you know, when it comes to that. When it comes to copyright strikes, those will absolutely be considered when you are applying for the partner program. So a copyright claim is where someone is claiming your revenue because you used something that you did not have permission to use. So with that, it's not really a penalty on the platform. It's just a penalty in terms of you not being able to make money from that. When it comes to a copyright strike, totally different thing. The way to visualize this to make it make a lot of sense is it's somebody striking your channel, right? Like they're doing damage to your channel. So with a copyright strike, you just need 3 of those. You can have 100 copyright claims and you're fine, but you just have 3 copyright strikes and you lose your YouTube channel and the ability to ever publish videos to YouTube. Let's see here. Oh, nice. Love using StreamYard and just noticed that I was on the StreamYard channel with this familiar face. Yeah, that works out. That's a win, right? Favorite StreamYard feature for me, I can't put into words how helpful the hosting in the cloud has been for me. So that would be number 1. And what that feature is, and I mentioned it just briefly here a second ago, but basically, since you use StreamYard to live stream, if I have a power outage because I live out in the boonies. I'm in Thailand and I live like out in the boonies of Thailand. So I'm sure you can imagine some of the problems that I have from time to time with the infrastructure here. So because of that, every now and then, if it rains too hard, we'll lose power for like, 15 seconds and it'll cause my router to go down. It causes all my gear to go down. And because of that, if I was not using StreamYard, and I've had this happen in the past, then it just kills the stream. Stream's over. Nothing I can do. Everybody's gone. See ya. Have a good day. But with StreamYard, because of that cloud hosting feature, when that happens, if it's like a computer problem or if it's something with my internet or the power, then I just come in on my mobile package and I'll just keep the stream going while I'm waiting for everything to turn back on, which is awesome. In addition to that, the option to easily bring on guests. I love that because before StreamYard, that was a really difficult process in terms of using like OBS and having to like share like a certain part of the screen and get everything set up right. And then dealing with like syncing if you're like having somebody come in through Skype or something. It was a complete nightmare. So with StreamYard, that's my second favorite feature is just how easy it is for to bring guests onto the stream. You can have 12 if I remember correctly, you can have 12 people on stream. Move around scenes, I'm not sure, but they do have the option already to where you can customize your layout. So if that's what you mean, then yeah, but if you mean like it's already there, but if you mean changing scenes in some way, like let's say for example, if you mean like, hey, I want a graphic that is covering up like, a decent portion of the screen. I want to be able to click a button and it'll change from like my camera being here and an informational graphic being over on the side to like my screen being over here or my cam being over here and then like an informational graphic over on this side. I would love for them to build that out as well as part of the custom layouts. But as of right now, we're not able to do that yet. But yeah, I would love that. So one thing, Christina, is StreamYard in their Facebook group, in the StreamYard community Facebook group, you can submit feature requests there and they log every request that comes in. So if you have, an idea for something like that, definitely share it in there because it might be something that just nobody's ever said anything about yet. Let's see here. You can stream to more than 3 destinations. So when it comes to the destinations that you stream to, like for example, I think I have mine set up to stream to like, I believe I pulled it up earlier, but I think it's like, 7 different locations, but you can stream to as much as you want, but you might need to pay for it, in order to do that. It is a tool that costs money to develop. Let's see here. So next up, we need to incorporate that standing opportunity for healthy ergonomics. Absolutely. Without question. So Chatty Cathy says, once you put a video live on private, can you put it to public again and it count? If it's within 365 days, or if you private them, does that delete the watch time? I'm not sure if you put it back, if it does that or not, but I mean, I would just move forward. I wouldn't worry about anything you've done in the past. I would just move forward. You can test it, see if it makes a difference, but like I've never tried to do anything like that or had the reason to do that. But just keep in mind, like if it does go live and then you have it, you take it down, instead of just making it live again, you'd probably be better downloading that live stream, keeping it unlisted or, keeping it private, downloading that live stream, tightening it up to where it's just a little bit of a cleaner video to make it a better experience on the replay, and then just publish it again as a video, and see how people respond to it that way. And hopefully, that might help you, get a little bit more of those requirements. Does wire management annoy you? Now we're getting to the real questions now. Yeah, cable management, it doesn't annoy me. But, like there's definitely some things like, for example, here, because I'm in the process of redoing this, I might, because I'm having some computer problems back here on that station. So I might end up just fully switching out computers and stuff like that. I'm not sure. I might also move my music stuff from over there to some of it being over here. I'm not sure on that too. So that one's a little bit messy, but this side is pretty clean, all things considered with all the stuff. So like I've got a little bit of like, HDMI cables and stuff like that going on here. But in terms of a bunch of stuff hanging off of the table, most of it is just like visible up here a little bit. And then from there, it's pretty clean. So I try to keep it as clean as I can. That kind of stuff, it does bother me a little bit if it's not clean. Let's see here. Do you think Stream Deck will allow the buttons to hit media already uploaded into StreamYard? So as of right now, you can't trigger the media in StreamYard, but in the future, I would guess that's something that they might do. But as of right now, it's not something that you can do. I know some people have done this a long time ago. They've kind of mapped their StreamYard with like macros and things like that, and they're able to do it that way to where the macro will come in and they'll change it into the brand section and select whatever it is that they want. But that's really complicated. And if you like move something just a little bit in the wrong direction, or the screen's not perfectly sized, or in a different size browser or something like that, then in that case, it's definitely, sensitive. Taylor Bates, to add music, you just go into your branding section, and then there's an option down there to upload your tracks. Digital Art Drew says, Nick, how do you minimize each from your microphone? Do you use foam panels or have an app for your audio? So for me, I'm using the, let's see, which camera is it? This one. So I'm using the Rodecaster Pro. And since I'm using the Rodecaster Pro, then it's like processing all of my audio in real time and all of that. So where I can just use that and I don't have to like worry about anything else. So Rode just had an announcement where they're putting out some different, machines. So I'm going to end up switching this one to one of the smaller ones, depending on the options that it has, because I just don't like how much desk space this takes up, considering I just use one signal, sometimes two, because I have a backup mic as well in case something happens to this for some reason. But if the smaller one is better, then I'll definitely switch to that just for having, less screen real estate. Yeah, and for the transitions as well. So Motif Music Studios mentioned about the transitions. So this machine right here, this is called an ATEM Mini Extreme ISO. So what this does is this allows 8 HDMI inputs. And with these 8 HDMI inputs, that's just 8 cameras I can put in here, 8 sources. I can plug laptops into it. I can plug anything I want into this, anything that has an HDMI out. And then with that, it also has macros. So I have the option here of 6 different macros that I can select. And if I turn this on, then what's going to happen is it's going to automatically, start switching based on what I've pre-programmed in there. So basically I say switch to this camera for this amount of time, this camera to this amount of time, this camera to this amount of time. And then some of them, like the one I just showed you, like this camera, I don't even put it in the circulation, because I'm like offset there. It's a little bit weird. I only open that one when people ask me questions about the gear usually. DJ Empowerment Group says, I've had a stream scheduled for tonight and I want to stream to my Wix video channel for the first time, but Wix won't give a stream key for future broadcast. Do you know of a workaround? Unfortunately, I do not. Definitely post that one. If you are in the StreamYard Facebook group, post that in there because there's a really good chance somebody else has had that problem. So I would definitely post that in there. I guess the only real workaround is either to do it yourself or have somebody else do it, but just go through, well, no, because you would still need the stream key. Yeah, not 100% sure on that one. Can you talk about the feature in StreamYard where you can have multiple guests live streaming and all will get watch time hours? Yeah, with that particular option, then what it is you set up the stream, and when you set up the stream, you just have it set up to where it's going to the different channels for the guests that you invite onto the show. They have to give permissions, you have to give permissions, and then once everybody's connected up, then it goes out to both channels. They actually have a step-by-step video on that on the StreamYard YouTube channel that you're watching this video on right now. So I just recommend that you hit the channel name, and then that will take you to the main channel, the channel name underneath this stream. If you click that, it'll take you to the channel, and then just go look on either the videos page or the watch, and you should be good there. Okay. Looking for any... Yeah, we got Michael J using the ATEM Mini Pro here. Loving it. Yeah, it's great. It's cool because it allows for that hands off, right? To where you can just do your thing and you don't have to worry about it. I have a news segment that I do on my main channel, and on that news segment, I have a green screen and this stuff, and I'm so into how it looks for that stuff to be happening automatically that for the news segment, for when I use the green screen, I don't do it on every one of them, but for when I use the green screen, I have a foot pedal down here too. It's an Elgato foot pedal, and that allows me to also, I can use it just like I use the Stream Deck, and it allows me to switch back and forth between different assets that I'm showing and stuff like that on screen. So my hands are still clear, but my toes are down here pressing on stuff, which is pretty interesting. So thank you so much for hanging out here. My time is up here on the StreamYard channel today. As a reminder, if you did come in to see all the new features and things that you have access to on YouTube now as a live streamer, make sure that you check out the replay of this. That particular part of the stream is only about 20 minutes. If you turn the speed up just a little bit in the YouTube player, you can get through it relatively quick. So make sure that you check that out for the, information for the live stream of, what you probably clicked on this for. And besides that, have a great rest of your week. I'll be live streaming here the last Tuesday of next month as well. That's just kind of the schedule that we have that I live stream here at the end of every month. So make sure that you subscribe here to the StreamYard channel so that you can be notified when those streams are going out. And besides that, have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you next time.